First story is titled, Update. Am I the a-hole for not telling people my missing cousin is staying with me right away? Original story. It is the middle of the night, and my phone won't stop ringing because of my family. To try and keep this short, my cousin Jake got outed about 4 or 5 days before his 18th birthday in the summer. His parents, my aunt and uncle, made arrangements for him to be sent to one of those awful camps that claim they could cure him. A kid in his community was forced to go and came back and was clearly not well, so Jake didn't want to go. Jake ran away from home and jumped from one family house to another. His folks didn't file missing person reports because they didn't want to look bad to their neighbors. They just told them that he went to that camp willingly. He disappeared in the middle of October and turned up in my city a week later. After making sure he was safe to bring home, my wife and I allowed him to stay. He didn't want me to tell the rest of the family for a while because those people at the camp keep showing up to take him. I made sure to talk to a lawyer who assured Jake that they cannot take him. 3 days ago, he told his parents he was here. A few hours later, those damn camp people showed up, but they weren't able to take him. My family has been blowing up my phone for the last 2 days, angry that I didn't tell someone sooner. Well, Jake didn't feel safe yet, and still doesn't. I want to make sure he was ready. Still, even those that want to protect Jake is upset with me for hiding him. Am I the a-hole for not telling anyone that he is here until he was ready? Edit. First off, while I figured I was the a-hole for hiding him from my more narrow-minded family, it was those that really wanted to help Jake that made me feel guilty. They were all scared out of their minds and wanted a peace to know he was okay. I felt bad for not telling them. Though I am sure they wouldn't have turned him in, I felt bad because we were working on keeping him safe. Also, we got a lawyer who got the police on the lookout for those camp people in case they try anything. Jake is not going out alone until we are sure he is safe. Third, we are looking on how to get his paperwork, like his birth certificate, here because no way he trusts his parents to just hand them over. My granny-in-law is talking to some people that could help. Fourth, Jake says hello and thank you. Now for the top comments before the update. Not the a-hole, but weird that you think you'd be an a-hole for protecting him from those messed up conversion camps. Keep protecting him. Stick to it, man. Make sure he knows he has a safe place to stay with you. Family guilting you can be a weird and strong thing, but yeah, definitely not the a-hole. Oh, that's true. I didn't even think of that part since I'm looking from an outside perspective. My bad, OP. Just remember you're doing the right thing for your cousin by keeping him safe. You need to call the police since the camp people are trying to kidnap him. They know he doesn't want to go, but keep showing up. He needs a restraining order on these people. This is very sinister. If the camp people show up again, call the police. Take pictures, document everything. Ask Jake to write down every time they've come to get him and if there's other witnesses. You're not an a-hole. In fact, you're a saint to protect Jake from his clearly dangerous family and even took him to a lawyer. Jake didn't and doesn't feel safe because he clearly isn't. There is a cultish organization following him and trying to kidnap him. Jake clearly can't trust the rest of the family, so please keep supporting him until he gets on his feet. Not the a-hole. He is a legal adult, although as someone who remembers being 18, that's far from it true. Lol. It's good that you provide him the emotional support he needs, and he'll probably need a good therapist or support group to help him work through the treatment he's getting from the rest of the family. Poor kid. Jake is legally an adult and can tell those camp counselors to go pound sand and they can't do anything about it. If they try, that's kidnapping and the police need to get involved immediately. And then he needs a safe place where he is free to be himself without crazy cult members trying to get their hooks into him. And now for the update. First off, I want to thank everyone for their comments and advice. Thank you for saying I was not the a-hole because I was doubting myself. Regarding the camp people, we have footage of them coming up to our house and other family members' houses looking for Jake. So we have a clear image of what they look like. I already warned those people not to come near our house or Jake. They seem to listen, but Jake is still not going to leave the house without someone. I talked to the police about it, and they cannot do anything unless these people break the law, but they will keep an eye out. Well, better than nothing, I guess. Regarding the paperwork, my aunt and uncle refused to hand over the papers. They want Jake to either come home or go with those people. Neither is happening. We are looking up ways to get Jake's paperwork without them, but someone suggested calling the police and explaining what happened. Well, I don't usually want to go that far. That is what we are probably going to have to do. Regarding therapy, Jake agreed to it. I am getting a referral from my own therapist, so Jake is going to get help there. Regarding family, insert loud sounds of pained annoyance. Some family threatened to come over to try and make Jake go back home. Others, while understanding why I didn't tell them Jake was here, are still upset with me. It'll be a while before I can smooth things over with them. Regarding Jake, he is safe. We have him set up comfortably here. My granny-in-law pretty much adopted him, and I'm so sure she is going to put him in her will. He is safe, surrounded by people that support him, and I'm going to see about finding him some work when he's ready to try it. Again, thank you everyone for your messages and advice. We will be using them, and Jake says thank you as well. Some top comments. Good update. I hope Jake finds true happiness away from those monsters. Jake seems to be much better off away from his vile family members. If you are in the States and Jake is over 18, he can get his birth certificate and social reissued. You should have a local government office that can do so. Husband lost his at some point, and we had to get his reissued. Also, as someone who also acquired a family member due to parental intolerance of their gender identity, you're doing good. We got threatened with various legal actions, but it was all hot air since there was no actual basis. So, good luck to you all. It might be a bit trickier if Jake doesn't have a state-issued ID or driver's license yet, but it can be done. Start with a social security office, call them, explain the circumstances, and ask what you can bring to establish identity for him to request a new card. He will have to go in person to do this. Do not pay any websites for this service. They are fraudulent. Depending on what state, you may be able to order the birth certificate online. With both of those things, he ought to be able to get a state ID/license. And if all else fails, getting your congressman's office involved can often help cut through red tape quickly. A lot of people don't realize that their congressman's office usually has several employees whose job is specifically to help constituents with bureaucratic problems like this. On to the next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my dad to screw off and to stay out of my life? Some background. I, female 16, am an only child. My parents got divorced and I live with my mom, but I have to see my dad on weekends. I have low blood pressure, chronic fatigue syndrome, ulcerative colitis, and juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. My mom and I have been working on getting me an individualized education program for years because I'm in and out of the hospital. I have to leave school for a day every other week to get treatments, and no matter what I do, I'm wiped out by third period. My school gave me a 504 plan that did absolutely nothing, and my schedule got screwed up so bad that I might not graduate in time. I finally had a teacher advocate for me and helped me get a meeting to get an IEP. The meeting was set for Friday. The school called my dad to confirm the meeting. It was a mistake. They were supposed to call my mom, and he told them to cancel the meeting and that I don't need an IEP. I'm just lazy. He called my mom to yell at her for getting me an IEP, and I answered the phone because she was in the shower. And when I found out he canceled my meeting, I yelled at him that I'm done with his BS, to stay away, and that I want him out of my life forever. He yelled back that I'm lazy, disrespectful, ungrateful, and a lot more names. I hung up on him, and I locked myself in my room, and I've been crying since. My mom's trying to schedule the meeting again. Was I an a-hole for saying that to my dad? Now for the top comments. Not an a-hole. He intentionally did something that hurts your education and your health. Hugs for you, and hope your mom succeeds in getting a new meeting. I would bring this up in court. As many people said, he is negatively impacting your education. If you need further help, go to r/relationship advice. Not the a-hole. While I don't think you should talk to anyone that way, the fact that he's completely unaware or denying of his child's medical condition is inexcusable, and I think you're in your rights to not want him in your life. Also, if there's a custody agreement that says you have to see him, get that appealed ASAP, because if you fail to see him in that scenario, your mom could get into trouble. Luckily, given your age, your voice will hold a lot of weight if that's the case. While I normally agree with you, I think everyone should be treated with respect. When someone ruins something you've been working towards for a while and then insults you, There's only a limited number of words in the English language that can really express those emotions. Please have the school document that your father canceled the appointment and why. This should make it easy for a judge to say you don't have to see him anymore if necessary. You were not the a-hole at all here. Hugs. An invisible disability can be infuriating to deal with when it comes to people like your dad. If they can't see it, it doesn't exist. For me, 10th grade was wake up with 1 minute to spare and getting to class, 1 minute walk, come home, get snack, do homework, sleep until dinner, eat, clean up, go back to sleep, rinse, repeat. Lovely, lovely sleep all weekend. I had no life. It was sad and depressing. I had 2 friends, but I made it through. It was due to major side effects of an anti-seizure medication I was taking. Chin up and get this IEP. Get the help you need so you don't fall behind. Definitely put in the little things like rescheduling tests when it's the day off / after your routine appointment at the hospital. You will perform so much better. Being allowed to perform better will do you a world of good. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for insisting my daughter takes the downstairs room? I'll cut straight to the chase here. I, male 36, have a 10-year-old wheelchair-bound daughter. She's my world. I love her so much, and I always try to keep her happy and encourage her to participate in activities and do what she loves, like making crafts and hanging drawings on the wall. I'm currently engaged to my fiancé, and we bought an affordable small house near my work and the hospital, since I used to drive an hour and a half to get to the children's hospital. The house is beautiful. It has 2 big rooms and a smaller room. My fiancé picked one of the big rooms to be our bedroom. But the conflict started when I automatically thought that my daughter takes the other big room, but my fiancé said she wanted it to be the guest room. She said that the room is too big for our daughter, and the room upstairs can't be used for guests. I told her that's not okay, and I would never agree on letting my fiancé use the downstairs room as a guest room when my wheelchair-bound daughter deserves it, because she has to deal with so many everyday challenges, and going up and down the stairs is going to make things worse. My fiancé didn't like that she could use the upstairs room as our bedroom and let my daughter take the other big room. She got mad and called me unreasonable for wanting her to take the small room, and said that it was more suitable for my daughter. I was so pissed at this point, especially since she started bringing it up over and over again. I snapped, and I demanded that my daughter takes the downstairs room and said that it was final. She argued with me about how this decision wasn't mine to make, and she still gets a say in it. I refused to discuss it any further, and she is now talking to my daughter directly and trying to get her to say okay. My daughter is being put under pressure here. I stopped responding to her calls after that, and she's now upset with me, calling me a selfish a-hole, inconsiderate, and not caring about her feelings as a partner. Her mom says I was wrong for excluding her daughter from the decision like that. Here's where I might be the a-hole here. My fiancé actually contributed in buying the house. She paid money and worked hard, and so she says she gets a say as much as I do. Am I the a-hole for insisting my daughter takes the downstairs room? Edit. I feel stuck, and I wish I didn't buy the house since this issue isn't going to get resolved. Top comment. You're the a-hole if you marry a woman who treats your daughter like trash. There is no world in which your guests needs to have a bigger room than someone who lives in the house. You're the a-hole for still planning to make your disabled daughter live with a woman who has no respect for her and no understanding of her disability. Your child comes first. Even if you win this fight about the room, what's next? Will your fiancé insist that the wheelchair not get in the way and police where your daughter stores it? Will she lay out furniture that makes it impossible for your daughter to navigate? You can't be a good father to your daughter and live with, let alone marry, this woman. You need to talk to a lawyer and a financial planner to figure out how to extract yourself from owning a home with your fiancé. And your fiancé better be your ex-fiancé real soon. What kind of person insists that a wheelchair-bound child shouldn't get a ground floor bedroom? Also, what kind of person thinks that a guest room, used occasionally by a range of people, should be bigger than the full-time bedroom of a child who is presumably soon to be their stepchild? Answer: an a-hole who you 100% should not marry. Buy her out of her share of the house and end this. This is not how she would be treating your kid, especially she's now talking to my daughter directly and trying to get her to say okay. My daughter's being put under pressure. Come on, why would you put your daughter through being stuck with someone like this? If she's your world, then act like it and get rid of the soon-to-be evil stepmother. Not the a-hole. For now, marry her and you will be. Not only should a guest room not need to be bigger than an actual bedroom, but wheelchairs take up more space than an average person. They need a bigger room. And of course, it should be downstairs. I can't imagine having a wheelchair-bound child and buying a house without a ground floor bedroom. It's the first thing I would be looking for in a house. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you with the next one. Stay safe. Update. I broke up with my boyfriend because of his views on cheating. Original post. I don't know what to feel. Me, 25 female, and my boyfriend, 28 male, have been together for 3 years now. And we have been living together for 2 years. I know his family. He has one brother, Sam, 33 male, who is married to Lisa, 32 female. They have one daughter, who is 4 years old. He is very close to his brother, which resulted in me being closer to his wife and kid too. Sam sometimes comes to our place and plays video games with my boyfriend. One day, when they were playing video, Sam put his phone and charger in our guest room. I was there cleaning the windows, when suddenly his phone buzzed. I went to look, and there was someone named Office texting him, "I had a great time last night. Your tongue is magic," with some emojis. I was a little shocked. Sam always shows how much he adores his wife. Even Lisa says he is the best husband, so how could he cheat? This was the first incident. Then one day when he was at our house again, he was talking loudly while I was right by the kitchen, while he was talking on the phone in our guest room with doors open. He was saying "I love you" to someone named Beth. This confirmed my suspicion even more, so I told my boyfriend that I think his brother is cheating on his wife, and I asked him if he knows anything about it. His expression went blank and told me he knew about it. I was perplexed. I asked what does it mean, and he began to tell me Sam has been seeing other girls on the side. He doubled it down, saying it is not a big deal because Lisa's happy, he is happy, and plus boyfriend doesn't like to mix in other people's business. I asked him if he thinks that his brother cheating on Lisa was right. How could he defend his brother over something so vile? He told me it is their personal life, plus he doesn't want to ruin his brother's marriage. I told him firmly his brother's marriage was already ruined the moment he decided to stick his junk inside someone else that isn't his wife, and is clearly wrong for supporting him. How would he feel if I was cheating on him and my sister knew and never told him? He said of course he would feel bad, but this isn't about him. I just told him to leave me alone. Cheating is a deal breaker for me. I do not like people who are cheaters or supporting cheating. I can't even look at him the same way I used to. So a few weeks ago, I called him and told him this isn't working. I cannot be with someone who supports cheating and doesn't mind someone else cheating. He cried and told me not to do it, that he will do better and this isn't fair to him. I cannot punish him for what his brother is doing. I told him calmly that this is not a punishment, but my decision. I already told him that cheating is a deal breaker for me. I will not tolerate it in any shape or form. Then I went to stay with my brother. 2 days later, I went to our place to get some stuff of mine. He asked me if he could talk and I said sure. He told me he was wrong for not saying anything against his own brother. Lisa is a good woman and that he would ask his brother to stop. I told him that doesn't make me feel better. The fact that he thinks it is okay to cheat clearly shows he has no problem cheating on me. He told me he is not cheating on me and that he will be better. So I asked him if he could tell Lisa about his husband's affair. He went silent and told me he can't go against his own brother. Well, then I guess he made his choices. I left his place, leaving him crying on his couch. I feel bad. I love him, but the trust I had for him is gone. I do not know how to tell everything to Lisa. I am not sure what to do. I feel lost. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. He literally said cheating is okay as long as the partner is happy. Your boyfriend will end up cheating on you too, claiming it's not wrong as you were happy. You did what you had to do, and I would do the same thing. Best of luck, OP. Oh yeah, he definitely would have cheated in the future. Might already be doing so. No doubt his brother will also be a sniveling mess when Lisa finds out, despite it being solely his fault. It was more like easing the situation as he would not want to be in the middle of a family drama. I just think he chose his words poorly. Congrats on recognizing a moral flaw in his character and realizing he would not make a trustworthy long-term partner. But he is afraid to expose his brother, so he is relying on someone else to do that for him. Tell Lisa her husband is cheating on her, and to look up Office and Beth on his phone. It's up to her what she does from there. Don't listen to people who are telling you that your boyfriend is right. He is obviously wrong. If he has no problem his brother cheating on his wife, then he wouldn't have a problem with cheating on you. I hope you tell Lisa about it. Edit/update. To those idiots who says that my boyfriend is not wrong, I hope you find yourself in a similar situation as Lisa. I would like to know how would you feel when you learned that your husband betrayed you, and people close to you knew about it, and let you get cheated on day after day. He has covered for his brother on many occasions. He has lied to Lisa telling her that Sam is with him, when he was not. Even if he didn't, him simply acting it is not a big deal that a woman who is so loyal to her husband is getting cheated on is wrong and malicious in my eyes. Him concealing his cheating is also putting her at risk of STDs. And also, what if Sam got one of those girls pregnant? It's not like they were in an open or poly relationship. But to anyone who is asking, I will tell Lisa. She's currently out of town. I can send her a message, but I have no evidence that Sam is cheating. Plus, she told me she would not be near her phone. Now for the full update. Hello guys, thanks for all the kind words. I wanted to make an update the day after I posted it to reassure you guys I did tell Lisa, but something came up and I was delayed. So, I did tell her the very day I made this post, even though I had no evidence. I got some encouragement from you guys too. For all I knew, she could scream at me. But hey, if that happens, at least I wouldn't have to live with this giant guilt that I misled a friend of mine. I talked to Lisa telling her everything on the phone. She just told me she can't speak right now and thanked me for informing, which was weird. I didn't hear from her for the next 3 days. I only heard from her when my ex called my brother to yell at me. He called me a homewrecker because I snitched to Lisa, and today she took her daughter and served Sam divorce papers. I was even more confused. It's not possible to file a divorce paper within 3 days. So I called Lisa. She didn't pick up, but texted me to come to Sam's house. I went with my brother because I didn't know how safe it is for me. When I entered, I saw my ex, Sam and their parents along with Lisa. Sam looked really awful. My ex jumped on me saying I did this to his brother. Lisa told my ex to calm down. She carries on to explain that she already knew Sam was cheating for a while. One of the girls he hooked up with contacted her and showed her the messages between him and her. That girl worked in his office. The girl felt guilty knowing that she hooked up with a married man, and she told Lisa before quitting her job. I'm guessing she felt really guilty and couldn't work there or something. Lisa further told us she has been planning on leaving Sam since then. She needed time to get her things sorted and gather evidence that will help her in court. She was mostly a homemaker, but worked part-time, so there were financial issues too. She went on to expose Sam even more of his deeds in front of his own parents, and told Sam she wants full custody because Sam bringing one of his women around her daughter is not safe. From what she described, Sam is pretty screwed in the divorce. She also didn't spare my ex. She basically told him she has never treated him like an outsider. That if someone was cheating on him, she would definitely tell him, even if that someone was her own family member. She finds it really sad that she had to know from a stranger what his brother was up to, rather than someone closer to her and someone she loved like a brother. My ex was silent. A lot more things came to light because there were a lot of yelling and pointing fingers. Sam has been cheating on Lisa for 3 years, and my ex knew it for the last 2 years, and has been covering Sam. Sam's parents were disappointed at him as well, and apparently my ex also lied to his parents about why we broke up. He told his parents I fell in love with someone else, and that's why I left him. Why he did that? Because his stupid brother thought it was a great cover-up. Because even if I told Lisa, then no one would believe in me because I was the one who cheated and projecting it on his brother. Lisa called me here to clear my name and also thanked me for informing her, even if she knew it all along. Their parents apologized to both of us and told us they are ashamed of their sons. I just felt bad for them. After that, I went home, but Lisa asked me if she could stay with me, and I said sure. She was stoic when she was talking to Sam and his parents, but as soon as she entered my house, she broke down in tears. She told me that she should have listened to her friends who told her Sam was not a decent person. She left her job and her law study so that she could be with him. I felt really bad for her. I know this will be really tough on her and her daughter. I wish there was more I could do, but I'm really impressed that she handled this situation with such poise. I hope she decides to continue her law studies like she wanted to. She sacrificed a lot for that a-hole. Also, to all those people who think that my ex was right not to snitch on his brother, you guys don't see how he is putting her at risk? Sam was sleeping with literally everything that has a hole, and you guys think it would be better to keep her in the dark. I know she knew about it, but what if she didn't? What if Sam's careless philandering put her in danger of STD? Some STDs are life-threatening like HIV. Him not coming clean of his brother's deeds was seriously putting her in danger of it. And I wasn't punishing him. I simply cannot live with someone who would support cheating. To me, that is exactly like cheating. Moreover, he lied and covered for him. Who is to say he wouldn't mind cheating on me because he clearly thinks cheating is not a big deal? Even if he wasn't covering for them, the mere fact that he thinks it is okay for someone to get cheated on is a huge no for me. I am really shocked to see how many people are willing to take the cheater's side instead of the one getting cheated on. He told his parents I fell in love with someone else, and that's why I left him. Why he did that? Because his stupid brother thought it was a great cover-up. Because even if I told Lisa, then no one would believe in me because I was the one who cheated and projecting it on his brother. This is plain evil. Further proving her point that he cannot and should not be trusted. Yeah, these two brothers are rotten to the core. Feel really sad for Lisa, who gave up her studying and career to be with a POS. At least she seems to be well prepared and taking her cheating husband to the cleaners. It's a real shock to me that the parents were apparently decent humans, disappointed in their sons. How did both these a-holes turn out to be such wet farts? Near identical situation to that other recent post, where a guy left his fiancée for casually telling him her cousin had cheated on her husband before they were married, and that it was no big deal. Both sets of cheaters and accomplices suck, and it is delicious to see them get their comeuppance. My brother-in-law's brother would casually cheat on his girlfriend, despite being in a serious relationship, and his whole family acted like it was no big deal. They weren't married, so it was just youthful hijinks. I thought it was a worrying attitude, but my sister brushed it off as him being a black sheep. And of course, my brother-in-law, the good son, wouldn't cheat. It would have been nice if she was right. People who would never betray their partner generally don't condone it or find it funny when other people do it. Last story. I, 39, resent my 38 female stay-at-home wife. My wife has been a stay-at-home mom for the past 14 years. She went back to work last year, 2022. At the beginning of this year, 2023, she decided to reduce her hours. And I said, fine, do whatever you need to do. Well, she reduced her hours to 0. Last I checked, 0 hours meant that you quit your job. But what do I know? She tells me she has a job. At the same time, my wife decided to diagnose herself with depression. Not depression, but depression. But she refuses to even say it right. She also decides to completely stop driving due to her anxiety. So to say I was blindsided was an understatement. We did a couples counseling for a few years prior to COVID and things were good. Now, when I say you might want to get back into therapy, she made it clear it doesn't work and that I need therapy since I'm an a-hole. In the middle of all this, she made it clear that I didn't do anything at home and that I need to step up at home. Well, I was working from home, but since COVID is now over, I am back in the office and out of the house 10 to 12 hours a day. I find it hard to do laundry or take the kids to school from my desk. I also do not have the privilege of getting the kids on the bus at 8 a.m. and be home to get them off at the bus at 3. I made it clear I can support the morning, but not the afternoon. And I found out she wants me home both sides now. So yeah, my wife has anxiety stopping her from driving. She has depression she refuses to get help for. She has a job that she now works 0 hours a week and somehow I need to do more work at home to make her happy. I really try to talk to her about this, but she just chooses to change the subject to how her job is harder than mine, and men don't do enough for her around the house. I even got forced to do all the food shopping since she won't leave the house. I go to Walmart twice a week, and it is 5 minutes from the house. I drive the kids to all the programs she signed them up for, and I cook dinner 4 nights a week. I felt taken advantage of by someone who doesn't understand that doing laundry twice a week isn't a $30K a year job. Yes, she puts the kids on the bus, but now that she reduced her hours to 0, I get told she has a job and takes care of the house and kids on her own. So can I forcibly get her to get a different job? This entire I can't drive with anxiety but does not help is driving me mad. Honestly, I'm ready to make my job 0 hours since work keeps getting in the way of everything I need to do at the house. Unfortunately, my kids like food and my wife loves the internet, so if I quit, the merry-go-round stops. Now for the advice. You can't make her do anything. You do have choices, however. You can choose to stay and deal with this, or you can choose to end the marriage. Part of our job as parents is to demonstrate healthy relationships for our kids to model. Even if you're not openly arguing in front of your kids, they pick up on tension. And being around that kind of conflict can increase their odds of developing anxiety disorders and other mental health issues. Obviously, your wife needs mental health support. If she were actively trying to work on that, it would be one thing, but she's refusing to address it with a professional. It is not uncommon for women at her age to begin to experience the effects of perimenopause, which can kick off or exacerbate anxiety and depression due to hormonal imbalances. She really should discuss with her doctor. But if she refuses them again, it's up to you to decide if you want to stay or go. In sickness and in health no longer applies if someone refuses to pursue treatment. In my humble opinion, of course. Exactly. It is in sickness and in health when we're both putting in the effort. Once one party stops putting in the effort, it's all up in the air from there. I'm sorry, but the depression part made me lol. I said it out loud when I read it. It instantly understood why it annoys Opie so much. She will randomly curl up in a ball on the couch and cry just to cry. Then say, I wish things were different. My favorite is when she tells me, if you really loved me, you never would have let me stay home with the kids. Now, I don't know how to process that, but at least she tries to tell me what is wrong. Honestly, this sounds so frustrating. Can any family or friends help with some sort of intervention? She really needs to do something to help herself. And if she doesn't, it's maybe time to consider if the marriage is over. Now a chance of her family helping. Her father has dementia and lives in a home. He has no idea who we are. Her mother hates me and doesn't even try to hide it. Her brother cut off the entire family after becoming a woman 3 years ago. We only see this one at Christmas when they/them ask for money. Is our Christmas present to give money? Her one sister married a super rich New York doctor and openly tells everyone how horrible men are. Most of it comes from her husband not helping her with the kids when they were little. She hates men. Very funny situation with 2 boys in middle school, and her taking trips alone to Europe on his money. The advice she gives my wife is, just make your husband do it since I know he doesn't do anything useful. She used to be a teacher when we live in the South, but does not qualify in New York since she doesn't have college credits in teaching. She was substitute in local school, but she cut her hours.